My name is Jacob Inocencio. This is our Dow Sustainability project about rural development in San Jose. We just want to start by saying thank you so much to Dow for this life-changing experience. Going to Costa Rica this summer, getting to participate with the community, being in the community we were working in, for me, was absolutely transformative. It was so inspiring to see these amazing individuals and get to work alongside them, and I know the rest of the team felt the same. So thank you so much to Dow for making this possible. Thank you to the amazing team at Graham for being incredible mentors and leaders and navigating an exciting transition with such ease and grace. It was so great. And thank you to all of you. I've said the whole time that I've gotten to participate in this experience that I think the very best part is the network of learners and the network of people and people who are bringing different and diverse ideas to the table to solve problems. So I've been so humbled and blessed to get to work alongside all of you, and we're really grateful for that. So this is an interactive ecotourism guide in rural San Jose, Costa Rica. Like I said, my name is Jacob Inocencio. I am a master's in social work candidate. I also work full-time in the nonprofit space and environmental education. So this project was really near and dear to my heart.
Hi, everyone. My name is Kayla Guzman, and I am a dual master's student in public health and public policy.
Hi, I'm Michelle, and I'm studying nutritional sciences at the School of Public Health.
And I'm Jamie, and I'm studying landscape architecture at the School for Sustainability Environment.
So this is the team. This is actually the top of the trail where we're going to tell you a little bit today about our trail development. This was the top of the trail, so this is us. And so we got to work closely with 3 intertwined entities in the Palmichal region. Adessaru is the family foundation, and they work together to run Nacientes Palmichal. So what we didn't realize at first is how much of a community asset and how family-driven Nacientes Palmichal was. One of the biggest problems that we're going to talk about today that they were trying to solve is they're not appropriately valuing their own time and their own inputs into the project because to them it's just near and dear to their heart. It's just natural to them that this is their life's work to preserve their community, to uplift their neighbors, to provide new opportunities, and to steward their environment. So we were really excited to get to work with them. And then Green Tico is run by Mauro, who is the son of the folks who run Nacientes Palmichal, and he's really committed to ecotourism and tourism relationships and sustainable development. So it was great to work alongside these incredible community partners. And this is them right there. It's the family in the top right. And it really is a family affair. We got to work alongside every single member of the family. We met uncles, we met neighbors, we met old teachers of Mauro's. Like, it was very much a community effort and a community asset. So we were really blessed to get to participate and feel really welcomed and really ingrained in the community early on.
So what was going on with them is that they had a lack of sustainable and organized financial structure to ensure more of a long-term operations. Along with this, they had inconsistent funding and limited tools to apply for grants in general, and limited educational infrastructure for visitors. They particularly worked with university and school groups, and in absence of detailed trail maps. So these were the problems that we were trying to solve, and we focused on 2 deliverables mainly. So on one side, we have our nonprofit structure, a financial plan, and a grant writing toolkit that they can use to later on apply to as many grants as they would like, and then an ecotourism, trail signs, and trail mapping, which we're gonna show you.
So with the deliverables that Michelle was talking about, we were able to balance both helping them work on the company and work in the company. So the trail map development that Jamie's going to talk about in a few minutes is the actual programming side and the community-facing side of the work that they do. What we were able to, Kayla and I were able to work on more. We helped with the signs too, as you'll see in a minute. But we were able to help more with the financial plan. Like I said at the beginning, they weren't appropriately pricing in their own time. They weren't appropriately pricing in the budgeting for the materials and the community time to do this work because it's so ingrained in them that this is just what we do, that they weren't saying in their budgets that they need to pay themselves. They weren't saying in their budgets they need to pay the neighbor down the street who showed up and continued to do it for 30 years. And it wasn't that they didn't think those people should be compensated. It just wasn't something that they were appropriately pricing in. And so it was making it difficult to communicate with funders because they were talking about these massive projects that most funders would look at and expect a couple $100,000 price tag. And they were saying, we think we can do this for $30,000, $40,000. And so we were trying to help them really develop a financial plan, develop a more appropriate budget that appropriately priced in the externalities of the work, and then helped them use the budget to better tell a story to funders so that they can do more sustainable development and more change making in the community. The grant writing toolkit is a living and breathing document that we were able to develop alongside them. And I think this part was incredibly important for us to be in the space to better understand what they needed. When we're there, we're much better able to see the different assets and the different opportunities. On Zoom and via email, we kind of got a sense of what the resources were, but when you're in the space, all of a sudden it's easy to say, oh, we could put a kitchen over there. Oh, we could put this teaching classroom there. Oh, we could add this asset. They already have so many incredible assets in their infrastructure. We were able to use the grant writing toolkit development and brainstorming with them while we were on location to talk about future projects that we'll talk about at the end. But the grant writing toolkit was really important because it better helped them tell their story. It better helped them differentiate between what's the problem statement, what's the program and the solution, and what are the expected outcomes, right? By better delineating these differences, by better telling the story, they're able to go after bigger dollars, they're able to bring more money in that helps upscale their assets and do more programmatic work.
So then they had a couple of ideas for projects that they can do at that moment throughout the beginning part of our partnership with them. And it wasn't, as you said, until we went in person that we were able to really identify like what can be done and how to further those actions so that we can create like grants for that and everything. So then with that on their higher priority projects, we worked on creating project action plans. So this includes like the theory of change, saying the long-term, short-term impacts and what the overall deliverable will be. Following slide, please. And then we did some logic models and also Moore's triangle, identifying their strengths, limitations, and areas of need within partnerships and all of that. So yeah, I think that's it.
So as we've mentioned, one of our major deliverables was this collection of trail wayfinding signage within the reserve that the organization stewards in Costa Rica. One of our main goals with this part of the project was increasing accessibility to the reserve for the local community. So this is an area that is public, but is mostly utilized by the organization when giving guided tours of the area. So we really wanted to mimic with this signage a guided tour experience. And what we were able to accomplish with this strategy was creating a more publicly welcoming trail experience that made it clear that this was a public space to be utilized by the community whenever they felt like visiting. So with the design of the signs themselves, we utilized the colors of our partner organization's branding, as well as hand-rendered graphics of local species and ecology, while remaining sensitive to the natural environment. So the purpose of these signs was to supplement your experience with ecological and historical context without taking away from the natural experience. And we were able to feature a local student's artwork on one of the signs, which was pretty exciting for us and for our partners. So when we started this project in January, the only maps of the area that our partners had were these sort of yarn artwork things like this created by some of the local high school students. And this offered us a lot of wonderful context as we started working on the project, but it really lacked the accuracy for a public-facing wayfinding system. So one of the big things that we accomplished was using GIS to formally map some of the trails within the reserve so that we can increase accessibility and really create more of a public opportunity within the reserve. And similar to some of the projects mentioned already, this is something where there are still countless informal trails within the reserve that can be formalized in this manner as the organization grows and expands their infrastructure.
Perfect. And here are just some pictures of the whole process of installing the sign. So it's us literally cutting the wood, painting it, and pasting the signs and doing the holes and everything to put them along the trail. Here are some more pictures of how they look installed already. It's beautiful.
So as we're wrapping up, our next steps for the next Dow Fellowship, and we're really excited because our partner is getting to work with another Dow team, but actually using the grant writing toolkit to find and develop some grants, building more signs and continuing to develop the trails. As Jamie said, there are so many informal trails and so many other assets and capacity to be built. And then working on the marketing and the promotion so that people from not just the Palmichal region and not just San Jose can come and understand the different opportunities and the different ecotourism available. So we're really excited to hand this set of deliverables off and continue to see them grow. And I know all four of us want to go back.
Definitely.
So again, just want to say thank you so much to Dow for this incredible life-changing opportunity. This has been, for me, one of the highlights of grad school. Thank you to all of you for your friendship, your fellowship, and your mentorship. I have said for my whole career that I think the most important thing you can do is develop and build relationships, and your network is your net worth. So I feel very lucky and blessed to count all of you in my network. And then, of course, thank you to Graham for this opportunity and the University of Michigan for providing such an exciting and engaging opportunity.